welcome to Last Rites, the horror scene podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Brown, and always with me is my co-host,
Ollin Hernandez.
We'd like to welcome back all of our undead ghouls and monsters, and for any of you that are new, welcome. If you haven't had a chance to check us out, please listen. If you like it, go to our social medias, give us a like, subscribe, and then hit the bell for all future notifications. So, we got a little bit of news, not very much, but we do have a couple of lists for movies and horror series that are for 2023. And then we also have some updates on some of those movies and television for the future of the shows and the movies. We don't have any reviews, do we?
Not really. I mean, I could review a little bit of the first episode of Last of Us.
Okay.
No spoilers on that one.
Okay, we'll do that then. We'll give you a review of The Last of Us, and then we have a new comic from the DC horror line. Ollin will get into it a little bit later. It's called Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead.
Very exciting.
Awesome. So, what do you want to start with, the movies or the TV?
Let's do the movies first.
Okay. So I came across a couple different lists, and I printed out some papers for me and Ollin, and this one seems to be the majority on every list, it seems like. But these are what's coming out. At least when I printed it out, it was what was coming out. It is 2023 already, so some of these movies are in the theaters, and some of these will be coming to the theater. So the first movie that we can start with is Megan. So Megan is looks like an AI horror story. Looks like it was done by Blumhouse. So Blumhouse is just really getting their fingers into the horror business, like full blown. Looks like they are going to be like the new Dimension films. Because remember, Dimension films from back in the day, they pretty much were like everything and anything horror related. So it seems like Blumhouse is kind of going that way with horror movies and even TV series too. I mean, they're just a huge thing for horror right now.
Yeah, Megan. I guess it's being compared to Child's Play. I've heard. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for streaming for that one. But I guess from what I've heard is there's a lot of tips of the hat to the Child's Play movie, and more of an homage really than a ripoff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going with the whole AI thing and not like a possessed doll, you know, along the lines of Child's Play or Annabelle.
Right.
So, you know, it's definitely, I see what they're trying to do. I particularly haven't seen the movie yet, so I may catch it in the theater, but more than likely I'm probably going to wait for streaming.
Yeah.
I mentioned the same thing earlier when we were talking about it. But yeah, I mean, it looks really good. It looks fucking creepy as hell. I mean, nothing really like scares me that much anymore or creeps me out, but just something weird about this because it's something that could really happen. You know, the AIs are getting more and more intelligent, and like in Terminator, they're going to be self-aware. It seems like one day. And
Right.
I think we're all fucked at that point.
Well, you gotta watch out for that one.
Yeah.
But it looks really good. The child actor, it seems like the movie demands a lot from her, and we're seeing like all of these roles being played, multiple roles being played by one actor. X comes to mind in that regard, and I think from what I've seen, the trailers and other scenes, the the dance is kind of trending right now on social media, and it looks like the child actor really had to put herself out there.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing that too. It's sort of a trend. I don't know if it's a young person thing or, because we're a little bit older. So, but like in Wednesday,
Yeah, the dance and it trended, and a lot of kids doing it.
Seems like they're trying to incorporate the whole TikTok thing, because that's where I see most of these dance things is in TikTok. People put a song on, they do like this weird dance, and I'm always thinking, where the fuck did they get this dance from to begin with?
Yeah.
And they're all doing the same thing, so they obviously saw it somewhere and it originated somewhere, but I've never seen it before, other than just seeing random ass, people doing these dances on TikTok, and I'm just like, okay, I just moved to the next TikTok.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that studios are actually thinking about this and implementing these things for marketability.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's what's hot right now, so why not put it into, their film or their television series?
Absolutely.
All right, so yeah, Megan, it is out now. It's in the theaters. If you want to be creeped out by an AI doll, then definitely go check it out. I do, but I'll probably have to wait till it gets on my streaming networks. Next movie is Knock at the Cabin. So this is actually one of my favorite directors as of late. It was M. Night Shyamalan. I hope that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah, I think it is.
I saw the trailer for this when it first came out, and that was really it. I didn't follow up on any of the premises of the movie or anything else.
I actually did not realize it was M. Night Shyamalan when I watched the trailer. It did not look like a traditional or like what you would expect from M. Night Shyamalan, with a weird premise that you can tell there's going to be some sort of twist to it. It just seemed like a regular, just scary movie.
Yeah, I mean, I had to look it up to see that it was actually him, because when I saw it, I was like, man, this is intriguing. But yeah, I agree with you. This is not typical M. Night, at the least. I mean, they're trying to say it's his comeback since The Visit, because I'm guessing what was that movie? Old?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so there was The Visit, which was the one about grandma's house or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was Old, which was the movie about all the people that were stranded on that beach.
Yeah, and time sort of passes by faster than regular time, and so people age at an exponential rate.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Just and I guess that movie did not do very well. So
it wasn't great. I did watch it, and I was really intrigued by the premise, but I don't know. It didn't deliver as much as I expected it to.
Yeah, and the cast that they have for Knock at the Cabin just doesn't seem like a group of people. It reminded me almost of The Glass Onion, because the cast in that movie did not seem like they all fit well together. But when you watch the movie, you're just like, man, yeah, these guys really play well off each other. So I'm assuming that this is going to be the same thing too, with this cast of people that he has set for this movie. There was a knock, and then there was 4 individuals that walked into the cabin or came into the cabin, and then I kind of don't remember anything after that point.
There's like a hostage situation going on with Dave Bautista. I mean, anything Dave Bautista, that man can do no wrong in my eyes, but it's a bit of a hostage situation, but then weird things start to happen.
But I like everything. I didn't see Old. That was probably the only movie out of his repertoire that I have not seen. Just because the trailer for it, just to me, I just didn't care for it. Didn't really seem like a movie I want to watch. Like these people getting older by the day or even by like the hour. Whatever was happening, it just didn't catch me. So I was just like, I'll pass on this one. Maybe I'll watch it later. I'll download it or stream it somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Knock at the Cabin is definitely, it seems a lot, not only different from old, but different from everything that M. Night Shyamalan has done so far.
Yeah, I don't think he's done anything that's like a heist movie or not a heist movie.
Like a thriller, like an action sort of thriller type thing.
No, what did you say? It was hostage.
Hostage, yeah.
Yeah, hostage. That's what I was going for. Yeah, I don't think I've seen him do anything hostage, other than he didn't direct Devil, but Devil was his movie, and I don't suppose that's like a hostage movie, although they were being held hostage by the devil.
Yeah.
In the elevator. So.
It kind of reminds me of the premise of this trailer we just saw. What was the name of that movie? We literally saw it yesterday. Our buddy Kevin showed it to us. Where there's like a heist sort of.
Oh, yeah, it's got Emil Hirsch and Steven Dorff.
Steven Dorff, yeah. And it's almost the same premise where there's they take a hostage with them. There's a heist going on. And they go somewhere and to hide, I think, running from the police or something like this, and then just weird shit starts to happen with some sort of Leatherface type character and human bodies being dismembered and I don't know, maybe experimented on or something. I can't remember exactly, but we saw that yesterday. But watching the trailer, there was a lot of gore even in the trailer that made me really excited about it. And there was just buckets of blood everywhere.
The price we pay.
The price we pay. That's what it is.
Yeah, and then the cover of the movie poster just has Emil Hirsch and Steven Dorff on it. And it looks like one of those dramas.
Right. Yeah, the poster gives you no clue, but once you watch the trailer and you see all the gore, it completely changes the perspective.
Yeah, this one definitely, because he was like, yeah, you gotta watch this trailer. He's all, you'll probably like it, and I'm like, I just don't like the way the cover looks. They say don't judge a book by its cover. Well, this is sort of the same situation. I looked at this movie poster and I was just like, yeah, I'll pass. And then he's like, no, watch the trailer.
Yeah, this one's really intriguing. I'm definitely gonna be watching now.
Yeah, I got a copy of it yesterday, so it's on my watch for this weekend.
Nice.
All right, moving on. Scream 6. That is going to be another one that's going to be coming out. Actually coming out in March, so very, very, very close. Since we're in January, so only a couple months away. Definitely excited for this one. I just watched the trailer yesterday for it. Did you watch it yesterday or the day before? Or?
No, I watched it this morning.
Oh, this morning?
Yes.
Yeah, so the premise, I was just kind of on the fence about it because the whole situation of them being transplanted out of Woodsboro to New York. And, obviously everybody across the internet is making that comparison to oh, this is the new Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, but from the trailer it looks like they could still be in Woodsboro, but just everything that's happening in the trailer, had captured my attention from the first second that it started playing all the way to the end. So
yeah, they're bringing back some of the actors from Scream 5, which I still don't get how we're calling this Scream 6, but people still refuse to call the last one Scream 5. They just want to call it Scream, but whatever. It is what it is. But they're bringing back some of the actresses. Hayden Panettiere, I guess, is coming back.
Oh yeah, she played Kirby.
Yeah. And of course, Jenna Ortega is going to be back, given her success last year with movies like X and obviously Wednesday. So she's definitely going to be back.
Well, she plays the sister of the girl who's Billy's daughter.
I imagine she's going to have a bit of a more prominent role this time around.
Yeah, and they're bringing back the twins from Scream 5, the brother and sister. that survived. So don't know if they're going to survive in this one. But as for like the Woodsboro kids, these are the 4 that went to New York. Basically, I'm guessing the relocator just to get the fuck away from Woodsboro.
Yeah.
Start over. And then Courtney Cox, Gail Weathers.
Yeah.
She's going to be in it. I don't understand if Neve Campbell is going to be in it or is still not in it. There was a lot of speculation, like she dropped out, decided that she wasn't going to do this film. There's a lot of uproar. Then all of a sudden there was like, oh, she's going to be in it. And it's like, well, to what aspect or what percent is she actually going to be in it? Is it going to be like a phone call? Is it going to be FaceTime? Is she actually going to show up? Is it going to be like the last movie where she shows up at the end? You know?
Yeah, it became a mystery. She doesn't even figure on the cast list when you look it up online.
Yeah, so don't know if it's a surprise. You know, it's just a lot of speculation on whether she is or isn't in the movie. So I guess we'll see.
You got a couple of new names too. Well, Skeet Ulrich, he's not new, but he's gonna be in it too. Anya Taylor-Joy is gonna have some sort of role in it. Dermot Mulroney, this guy Tony Revolori. If you've seen the new Willow on Disney Plus, you'll recognize him. Marley Shelton will be in it. I'm curious to see what roles they'll be playing. Because they're actors that we haven't seen in the franchise before.
Yeah.
Those last 3 or 4 I mentioned.
Oh, Samara Weaving.
Yep.
She's gonna be in it.
So I'm really hyped for it. The trailer, though, I have a couple of gripes about the trailer.
Really?
I feel like I hate it when trailers spoil things, and I don't know if I should say spoiler alert because it's a trailer. It's just kind of ironic that I have to say spoiler alert about a trailer. So if you haven't seen the trailer, spoiler alert. Ghostface wields a gun nowadays, which is, I'm like, okay, cool. I wish that would have been more of a surprise. I wish I could have just seen it on the movie.
The scene where they're in the convenience store.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it gives me also the impression that there's more than one Ghostface again. But now they have like a ghost cave, like a bat cave, but for Ghostface. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but maybe reveal that in the movie. I don't know, whatever. It just I hate it when I see when I watch a trailer and it reveals too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I get that too. Or like the movie could be just shit, and like the best parts of the movie were in the trailer.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I would have loved to seen the Screen Cave.
Yeah,
that's funny. I would have loved to seen that as a surprise, you know, in the movie itself and not in the preview. I could see that. Other than that, I don't think I had any gripes about it. Like I said, I was just caught, you know, deer in headlights, like from the beginning of it, and especially the subway scene, like where they all had the masks and they all kept turning, like they were looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, which one is it? You know, which one is the
real
killer?
one?
Yeah.
No, it's a cool. As a trailer, it did its job of hyping me up for the movie. But I also hated as a trailer. It just wasn't a good trailer in my opinion. But it did hype me up for the movie, and I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah. No, I agree. So yeah, this one has a March 3rd. Is that what they said? No, March 10th. March 10th release.
Mm-hmm.
So can't wait to check that out. Obviously, they're probably gonna have more trailers as they unfold closer to the date. So, but hopefully they don't reveal any more, shit that's going on in the movie.
Yeah. Hopefully, moving forward, they'll make better trailers.
All right. Next on the movie list is Renfield. This one is a take on the old Dracula. Renfield was his lackey, I guess. His
like his ghoul.
His ghoul is his person that he basically has commanded to do this and that. But this is a whole new play and take on it. So in this movie, you have Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult, yeah.
He plays Renfield, and Nicolas Cage is playing Dracula.
Yeah, we get two Nicholases.
Yeah, two Nicks for the price of one. But yeah, it looks. I don't know if it's set as today's standards or if it's kind of a continuation. Like they're both still alive and they're in. Where are they? Are they in? That's where I didn't see. Are they in like New York or are they in England?
I didn't get exactly where they were, but
yeah, I couldn't really pinpoint. Like I'm sure it probably shows, and I'm just not remembering. But yeah, I was just like, where is this located at? But again, like I said, I don't know if it's set like as in they're talking about they're creating the Dracula story for today's modern viewer, or if it's continuation of the Dracula from the 30s, and it just happened to be time has passed by and he's sitting there talking to people about his life experiences, being Dracula's servant. But overall, it looks pretty funny. It's got some good humor to it. I don't know how bloody it'll be, but clearly there's going to be some killing because Dracula needs to feed. So
it looks funny, but also I wouldn't say it's a scary movie, but there's definitely horror elements in it, obviously. But with Nick Cage, I'm sure he's gonna bring some sort of comedic elements to it too.
I mean, he has to. I mean, just looking at him and the makeup that they did for him, he looks completely over the top.
Yeah.
But it's still, for some reason, it works. Like when I look at it, I don't think, oh, this looks like cheesy. It looks like it works. And then especially that the lines that they give him for the minimal talking that he had in the trailer, it looked like it was gonna really be a good movie.
Yeah, and Nicholas Hoult he has a really good range as an actor. I've seen him in all sorts of different things. Obviously, we remember him as Beast from the X-Men. He was recently in that The Menu movie, which is also really good. He has like a weird comedic sort of role in that one. He started out in a TV show, and he's British, I think. I think it's called Skins, and it was sort of like a youth drama, sort of like have you ever seen like Degrassi or things like that? It was kind of like that, kind of like that times Euphoria type show without being so Euphoria being as edgy as they think they are, I guess.
Yeah, he's in a TV show right now about the Tsar of Russia.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and that one looks. It looks like it's kind of got some funny elements to it. Obviously, it's got some serious elements to it, but it reminds me of the Royals that was on like a while ago. That was about the royal family, not the present royal family, but the made-up royal family. Like they're basically they're trying to dramatize like what the royal family would actually be like.
Mm-hmm.
If TV followed them or not.
Oh, I see.
So, but yeah, he's doing that show. I forgot who the girl is that's in the show with him. But I think the show's called The Great. Ella Fanning or Elle Fanning.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, it's set in Russia. And he plays the Tsar, and she's like his bride that he just married, and So she's like not wanting to follow the rules of like being the emperor's wife. But yeah, it looks like it's got some funny elements to it. And it's got some serious elements to it. But overall, it looks like it would be a good show. It's on my list to start watching probably in the next couple months. I've got like, all these shows I have to watch still.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to consume.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, so Renfield looks like it would be looks like it's going to be a good one. Definitely gonna have some comedic elements to it.
Yeah, mostly comedy, I think. Also, Aquafina is in it, so another comedic actress.
Yeah, definitely gonna have some comedy then. Okay, so next on the list is Evil Dead Rise. So Evil Dead Rise, this one is being produced by Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. Although Bruce Campbell is not going to be in the series. It's a new take and spin on the Evil Dead. It's basically, I'm guessing it's more like a reimagining of the Evil Dead. So all new story, all new cast. They're just trying to basically, start over with it, and then move forward from that, seeing if they can get some people to keep on going. Because they tried to reboot it a little bit with Bruce Campbell on his TV show. What was that?
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell, or not Bruce Campbell? Ash versus was it Ash versus the Army of the Dead, or Ash versus the Dead?
Ash versus the Evil Dead. Oh. Yeah, Ash versus Evil Dead.
Ash versus Evil Dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then that to critics that bombed. It didn't go over very well to them. So. They got canceled, which sucks. A lot of people were really excited and loved to see Bruce Campbell back in that role. So, but it is what it is.
Now he's going to be behind the camera, I guess, which is it's good that he's still involved in the project in some capacity, because I really trust that man with the Evil Dead franchise. We're going to be talking about him again. Later in the show, but he's definitely the heart and soul of the Evil Dead franchise.
Yeah, I agree. Without him, there wouldn't be Evil Dead. Sam Raimi can direct all he wants, but Bruce Campbell's the one who brings it to life.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I've never been a fan of these movies, the Insidious series, but it looks like they have a new one also coming out. Insidious, Fear of the Dark.
Yeah, I watched the first one when it came out way back when. I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, it just seems like another horror grab of people either being possessed or demons that are trying to corrupt humanity in some way or another. But like I said, I was never really a fan of these, so I never really watched. I think I saw like half of the first one and then didn't really watch any of the other ones, so I just kind of like whatever. But this is on the list of horror that's coming out in 2023 that people should see, so maybe they're doing something different. This one has actually Patrick Wilson stepping up as the director for this movie, so he was in the previous ones, from what I know, but now it looks like he's so committed to it, like he's directing one now. So maybe his take on it would be, a little better. And then from what I'm reading here, Jason Blum, again, Blumhouse.
Yeah.
He's backing this horror movie also, so it's them getting their fingers into it. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Insidious series, there is a new one coming out, Insidious: Fear of the Dark. There's no release date on it that I have, so you just have to keep checking out to see when it is, or maybe by the next podcast we'll have some dates on some of these. We'll follow up on the these TV shows and movies to let you know when they're coming out, since we don't have dates on most of them. Next is the Meg 2. It's called The Trench. I really liked the first one. And I was really hoping that they would do a second one. But I'm really glad that they took their time to do it. So I'm hoping that it's going to be really good. Opposed to like when some movies similar to like this, if they get a good response or reaction to it, they will automatically just jump right into, let's make a sequel, and then the sequel ends up just being crappy. And then you're just kind of like, fuck, I should have never wished for that sequel. But yeah, it's I haven't seen anything else about it. I'm only just reading about it. So it looks like it's still in the works. I don't even know what the premise of it is, other than the Meg is back. So
yeah, I've always loved those kind of movies. Jaws, the original Jaws, is one of my all-time favorites, and I'm even a fan. I'm an ironic fan of like the Sharknado movies. I love those movies just because they're really stupid. And watching those led me into watching weird movies. Like there's this movie where like there's a shark. I think it's called Shark Ghost, where there's a shark that just jumps at you from like a puddle, or like if it's raining, it jumps at you, and things like that. It's just really weird, stupid movies like that. So when the Meg first came out, I was all over it because I was like in that like sort of vibe of watching like this weird shark movies, and for me the Meg was like the epitome of that. And I'm really excited to see what they do with the sequel.
Yeah. It was Jason Statham was in that first one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So I wonder if his character's coming back for this one, or if it's going to be a whole new cast, just continuance with the shark. So, but we'll see. Next on the list is The Haunted Mansion. This is not going to be a reboot, but it's going to be a brand new movie, and it is also based on Disney's Haunted Mansion. This one has Justin Simeon directing it, and this has an all-star cast. It has Rosario Dawson, Lakeith Stanfield, and Owen Wilson, and then there's a few more people in it. This one also doesn't have a release date yet, but hopefully this one is a lot better than the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion. That one was not really good. So looks like Owen Wilson's trying to make a comeback, getting back in the saddle, but we'll see if Owen Wilson is going to be Owen Wilson.
Right. Yeah, like you said, there's an all-star cast. I see Jared Leto here. I see Danny DeVito. I see Jamie Lee Curtis.
Wow.
Winona Ryder, Ryan Gosling. This guy Hassan Minaj.
I wonder if they're going to be like the people in the paintings and like
right.
the statues. Like I wonder if that's who they're going to play.
Or some of the ghosts or something.
Yeah, like some of the ghosts in the scene where they're dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see what roles they take on.
Haunted Mansion probably one of my favorite rides at Disneyland.
Do you like it as the Haunted Mansion, or do you like the Haunted Holiday as well?
I think just the classic Haunted Mansion is my favorite.
Yeah, I liked the Haunted Holiday when it first came out, but to me, I've always been a fan of just the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
So like seeing it all decorated up, it just doesn't. It takes it away from me. It just doesn't. It's not the same. It's cool, but it's not the Haunted Mansion at that point. So.
Brings back a lot of high school memories for me. It was always the ride you wanted to take your girlfriend to.
Oh yeah. You'll make out on your dune buggy.
Absolutely.
So you hear him over the loudspeaker. Hey, stop that! You're like, because you don't know, like in those rides they have the night vision cameras, so they can see everything, but
right.
It's so dark in there you don't know that they're actually staring at you. So Yeah, it's weird. All right, moving on. The Nun 2. So I guess The Nun got itself a sequel. This one is another, looks like James Wan movie. We don't know too much about The Nun.
I just know a lot of girls like to dress up as the nun on Halloween.
Oh yeah?
I see a lot of cosplays and Halloween costumes with the nun. Yeah, I haven't seen this franchise. Maybe I should give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, she also looks creepy as hell. This chick, her name is Bonnie Aarons. She plays the nun.
She plays the nun, the creepy one.
Yeah, and I thought from the first movie, because Vera, how do you pronounce her name?
Farmiga?
Yeah.
Is that Italian or something?
I don't know. She was the mom from Bates Motel, and then also in the Conjuring franchise. She played the wife. What's her name? It was something Warren. But yeah, I thought because they have similar facial features, Vera and Bonnie here.
Oh yeah.
That I thought Vera was
the nun.
Yeah, I thought she was the nun. But then when I saw some stills of the nun standing behind her, I was like, oh, well then I guess she's not the nun. So, but yeah.
Damian Bichir is in it. He's a good actor.
What else has he been in? I don't think I've seen anything with him in it. At least not that I recognize.
He's gonna be in that new series about the vampire. Let the Right One In.
Oh.
So
Okay.
he's gonna play like the father of the little girl or something like this.
Oh yeah, he looks different in the movie poster than he does like here.
Yeah.
Probably because he's shaved. He's got facial hair in here. Looks a little more clean shaved, or at least less 5 o'clock shadow.
Right. I remember him from a TV series from a long time ago called Weeds.
Oh, I remember Weeds. Wow.
He was in The Hateful Eight.
Was he?
Yeah. He was one of the cowboys, I guess. And I don't know. He's an old actor. He's been around since
So he's like
the 80s.
He's like a character actor then.
Yeah. You've seen him. He's like, like that guy. Oh, it's that guy. You know. You see him. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure now that he's on my radar, like I'm definitely gonna see him like as I'm watching things and be like, oh, that's the guy Ollin was talking about.
Yeah. Well, he's getting a few more protagonist roles. So yeah, he's coming up.
So yeah, The Nun 2. It's like the Conjuring universe is just getting bigger and bigger. Next on the list here, we've got The Exorcist, another Blumhouse movie. So I think this is going to be like what they did for Halloween in 2018. This is going to be the new Exorcist. I'm guessing it's the retelling of the original story.
See, I'm a bit nervous about this one because Halloween Ends was not great for me.
Yeah, and this is being directed by David Gordon Green. So.
Yeah, and The Exorcist is one of those movies that it's on my top list of horror.
Yeah,
just anything.
Yeah, it's on my top list too. You can find it on the website underneath in the postmortem page. Where do I have it listed at here? Number 5. So definitely a classic. Although I am on the fence about it because I don't think they should be redoing it. I am curious to see how well they do it. Did you ever watch the TV show? Did you know that they had a TV show on Fox?
I was aware, but I never really watched it.
Had Gina Davis,
oh really,
of all people, in it, and she did a really good job. And it was for TV, it was kind of creepy. It had its moments, but it got canceled. But I thought they did a decent job. It was it wasn't a retelling of this story, but it was their own version of a girl being possessed, and all the shit that's happening throughout the timeline of her being possessed, from inception to when the priests are brought in to start trying to exorcise the demon out of her. And for television, I thought they did a pretty well job on it. Again, I don't think they should be redoing this movie, but as curiosity killed the cat, I'm definitely curious to see how they do with this. Although you did bring up a very valid point with Blumhouse and David Gordon Green directing it. Is he gonna fuck it up like he did Halloween Ends, or is it gonna be like Halloween 2018?
It's about Max von Sydow. I can never say his name. Max von Sydow. Too bad he won't be back because R.I.P.
Yeah.
Great actor. Great actor. But yeah, we'll see what I guess Ellen Burstyn is returning as her original role. I can't imagine how old she is.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that was her name. Like Reagan is the daughter, but I didn't know that the last name was McNeil. I don't know, maybe I was just so used to just hearing the first name. And also, I never really saw her in anything else other than The Exorcist. So I'm guessing that's why I didn't recognize her name.
Oh my gosh, she's 90 right now. And I do recognize her from a movie called Requiem for a Dream. It's a weird, really dark Aronofsky film. It's just like a super depressive, sad movie.
So obviously it's not a retelling then, if she's going to be in it helping him with his possessed child. So looks like it's another continuance in the Exorcist story.
Right, if she's reprising her role, it's going to be some sort of expansion.
Yeah, I don't know if Linda Blair is going to be in it at any capacity or whatnot. And then last on the movie list is Saw X, which is Saw 10. And this one's actually bringing back Tobin Bell. To what capacity? I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I thought, spoiler alert, I thought his character was dead.
Right.
Obviously they have flashbacks and recorded segments, and because this guy likes to play games with people, so that's his thing. But is that what we're gonna get in this movie? Is it more flashbacks, more recordings? Is it gonna pull the whole twin thing? Maybe there's a second one. Just don't know. And this also doesn't give very much information on this movie. Did you watch that new series with Chris Rock? Did you see the Saw that they? It wasn't called Saw. It was.
It was related to Saw?
Yeah, it was part of the Saw universe.
No, I did not see that one.
So yeah, there's no release date, it says, for it that I see, other than 2023.
No trailer either.
In production, expected October 27th, 2023. Yeah, no trailer for it, so they must not have anything shot at the moment.
It's a long ways off.
There's no pictures either. So, but that's the newest one for the Saw franchise. And the big news is that they're bringing back Tobin Bell. Spiral, that's what it's called. and it's called Spiral from the book of Saw. Chris Rock was in it. So I heard it was pretty good, but I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
I'm pretty sure it's on streaming now. We'll have to look for it.
But yeah, it was weird just to hear that Chris Rock was attached to it, because I don't see him doing that many serious roles.
Right. He was on Fargo. Pretty good.
I didn't get to watch that. That's another one that's on my list. That's probably going to be Breaking Bad and then Fargo. That's probably the way I'm going to have to watch those. And then after, probably once I'm caught up on everything, then I'll watch Better Call Saul. Although I think we talked about that before, that I should watch Better Call Saul first, because it makes more sense.
Chronologically, yeah, it does.
Alright, so those are your 2023 movies. Kind of wasted a little more time than we should have, but that's fine. It's the list that, like I said, the majority of people that put together of what's expected coming up this year. So a lot of good movies, a lot of good things in the works, a few questionable things, but we'll see what happens with those. And then now we have horror series, which I'm so glad that they have not only horror for movies, but they finally have been able to put it on television. Not like, conventional TV, I'm guessing, but like, because of all the streaming services, like everybody has a series where it's, multiple episodes. You're not going to just get the one episode and be like, man, I wish I could see more of this. That's what these are for. And then it looks like this one is also, so those were 10 movies for 2023, and this is going to be 10 TV shows, the most anticipated. And this is actually from IMDb. This is their list. So at number 1 is Alien. So it looks like they're going to be making Alien into an actual TV series based on the Alien franchise. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, Alien is one of those franchises that a lot of content has been done. There's a ton of comic books. There's a couple of novelizations. You have all the movies, all the sequels, and the prequels. I don't know. We'll see what they do with this one. There's obviously so many stories that can be told with the xenomorphs and everything. We'll see what they do. I've always been a fan of both Alien and Predator, and I always love it when they mash those together. But we'll see what they do with Alien. I haven't seen any premises yet. It's just all I've seen is new Alien TV series.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that they're saying. So yeah, I'm the same way. I love the whole Alien versus Predator. I read a lot of Alien comics. I have a lot of the original Predator comics from Dark Horse. So really cool stuff. It's obviously they can expand a lot more through the comics than they could through like TV and movie back in the day. But now with all the technology and and then the minds that they have, people are very creative. As of today, they can move forward now with more advancements on their creatures and things. So I would think that this is going to be an expensive TV series because of just the sets and the costumes and the makeup.
Yeah, just the look of it. The H.G. Geiger original designs were so perfect that really any deviation from it just would not work for me. If anything, expand on it and build more scarier xenomorphs, or expand on their abilities, things like that. I think that would be the ticket.
Yeah, totally. Next, at number 2, and it says right now that Alien is filming, so it's in current stage of filming. So we should be getting the show sometime, probably mid-year, if it's filming. But as number 2, this one is only announced, so there's no filming whatsoever of it yet, because I think they're still trying to also cast for the show itself, is Crystal Lake. And we talked a little bit about this on our last episode.
Yeah, because there was the whole thing with the rights for it, and I'm pretty sure that's what's slowing it down, right? It's the entire legal.
That's what was slowing it down. Now the whole legal proceedings are out of court. So the writer and the original director were in court battling it out to see who would have the rights, for the characters and for the name and whatnot. Now that they're settled out of court, now they're starting to figure out, well, we need to move forward and make some money off of this. So one is now developing, this TV show, and as for the other one's going to start developing some movies. They announced the TV show. They have some of the casting done, it looks like, and Friday, October 13th, 2023, looks like is when they want to release the show on the Peacock Network.
Yeah, and as we said last episode, it's really interesting that A24 is going to be involved in some capacity.
Yeah, they're another one that's getting their hands in the horror genre and doing very well with it. Here's what it is that I was actually looking for. So Kevin Williamson from original Scream. So he's attached to the project, and then Adrienne King, who was the original final girl from the first Friday the 13th, is also going to be involved in the show. It's not saying what she's going to be involved in, to what aspect, but that she has attached herself to the project along with Kevin Williamson. So obviously Kevin Williamson's probably going to be writing probably episodes. I think he did Dawson's Creek as well. So he's familiar with the whole television writing on as well as movie. So we'll see, if he can, revamp the whole mythos of Crystal Lake, because he's the one with Wes Craven that to me revitalized and gave new life to horror back in the 90s when they brought Scream out originally. To me, if it wasn't for that movie, I think horror still would be going in the toilet, because there was a lot of horror movies that were coming out, but they were all, to me, B-flick movies. They weren't anything really worth writing home about, or saying, hey bud, you should go check this fucking movie out because it was fucking awesome. There was nothing at the time that was like that. So when Scream came out, that was the movie that you said, hey, you guys need to fucking go see this movie because this movie's fucking rad. So let's see if Kevin Williamson does that for Crystal Lake, which would be cool. I was real excited, and then I tried to rely on my memory to remember these people. That was a mistake.
Yeah, and I think the TV series format is going to be very conducive to letting the story breathe and develop, and I think that they could do some really great things with it.
Yeah, he's not going to just have an hour and a half for a movie, to try and cram everything in there.
Right.
He'll have the time to take, whether it's one season or it gets multiple seasons. At least he'll be able to stretch out, for however many episodes. That's also up in the air. How many episodes it's going to, be? Is it going to be a 6 episode, 8 episode, 10 episode, or traditional like 22 episodes? So it's really up to Peacock how they want to drop it. But yeah, it's definitely going to be really good. I'm expecting big things from this. Number 3 on the list is The Fall of the House of Usher, Edgar Allan Poe. This one has Willa Fitzgerald, Carla
Gugino?
Is that how you pronounce her last name?
I think so. Tania Miller.
Tania Miller, never heard of her. And Zach Gilford, never heard of him either. The first 2 I've heard. Willa Fitzgerald, she was in the Scream TV series.
Okay.
At least the first 2. The third one was like a complete reboot. They just eliminated everybody from the first 2 seasons and then just created their whole new like they started over.
Yeah.
Which was stupid.
Reboot,
I think that's that's what I think killed the show. Like the show was really good in its own aspect, but when they did that 3rd season, it fucked everything up. So, and then Carla, she was in the news for Star Wars for like her comments, right? It's the same chick, or am I thinking someone? No, that's Gina Carano.
Oh yeah, that's different actors. No, Carla Gugino.
She was. Oh wait, she was Sin City.
She was in Sin City, yes.
Yes. So,
she was also in The Watchmen.
Yeah. So she's the doppelganger to what's her name? Garino. Sometimes I get both of them mixed up. So yeah, Carla Gugino, and then Gina Carano. They have similar, to me they had similar like facial features. So like if I was like looking at them really quickly, I would think one was the other, unless I like really focused in and I was like, oh no, that's not her. But then like their names sometimes too, like it's almost like being dyslexic. Like I'll see the name and then I'll just think of, because it's like CG, Gina Carano and then Carla Gugino.
Oh, yeah.
So, dyslexia like kicks into me with them. But yeah, Fall of the House of Usher. Not really heard anything like on this, but it's in post-production, so it's almost ready for release for 2023. It says an unnamed narrator approaches the house of Usher on a dull, dark, and soundless day. This house, the estate of a boyhood friend, Roderick Usher, is gloomy and mysterious. So that's really all that the synopsis says for the show. So obviously, if you've read it from Poe, then you kind of know like what it's about. So and I'm sure that Vincent Price had done a version of this in a movie, back in the day. So I'm not sure how well the TV series is going to follow that movie, or how well they're going to incorporate the story. But I guess if you're a fan of Price and Poe, so you'll probably tune in and check it out. I'll try to check it out. I'm not sure about Ollin.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. It sounds like it's gonna be more of an expansion or than a retelling. I don't think they're gonna just tell the story again, word by word from the Edgar Allan Poe short story, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like what they're doing with The Exorcist. It's a take on today. It's what's going on with the house today, and then
right. Yeah, more like that. Yeah, bringing it more to modern times.
Yeah. Next on the list at number 4 is Hellraiser, Clive Barker's horror film Hellraiser is getting its own TV series.
Yeah, another one that's going into TV.
Yeah, so a lot of speculation. Like the movie itself, they had not a reboot, but a new movie come out. It didn't seem like it was all that well received.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fine. I liked it. I watched it on Hulu, and the Cenobites were really inventive in like the way they portray their own torture and everything like that. I thought it was a fine movie. I'm curious to see what they do on a TV series format.
Yeah, and what characters? I mean, are they going to bring back Pinhead? Because he's usually the main character for the Hellraiser series.
Yeah.
He's the main Cenobite. So,
I'm sure they'll bring other Cenobites as well, and I hope they go more into depth with all these other Cenobites. Pinhead being my favorite, but I want to see other ones.
Yeah. Yeah, this one just shows it's announced, so there's nothing concrete yet on cast or dates. Next on the list at number 5 is a movie called The Horror of Dolores Roach. This movie is also in post-production, so it's almost wrapped up. So we should be seeing this sometime shortly. Synopsis of this says Dolores discovers that the world has changed drastically upon her release from prison. She finds
respite.
What the hell is that? Respite.
It's like a moment to breathe and like a place where you can calm down and like not.
Someone was using a thesaurus that day.
Yeah.
Okay. And finds respite by working as a massage therapist in the basement of an empanada shop run by an older stoner buddy, Lewis.
All right. Okay.
It says this is drama horror, but this already sounds comedy.
Exactly. Just the stoner buddy thing. Already sending it to another place.
This has some stars attached to it, although some of these names are unfamiliar to me. Again, I would have to see faces. I'm more of a face person than a name person. But Justina Machado, Alejandro Hernandez, Keita Updike, and then K. Todd Freeman.
Yeah, all
are
of this
some names that
is
are attached to it.
Completely new to me. I have no idea what this the Horror of Dolores Roach is. I've heard nothing. The only thing that stands out is the empanada thing. Just makes me hungry.
Okay, so moving on from that, since we have no idea what the hell that is. But clearly it's in the top 10.
It's gonna be a thing.
It's gonna be a thing. Yeah.
We'll find out soon enough, I guess.
Number 6. This is a TV show that was created from a video game. It's called The Last of Us. This has your characters Joel and Ellie. The pair are connected through the harshness of the world that they live in and are forced to endure brutal circumstances and ruthless killers on the trek across post-pandemic America. This has Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, Gabriel Luna, and Merle Dandridge. And I think we also talked about this last episode, The Last of Us. So, and this one is actually, it says post-production, but again, when I printed these out, this was like a couple weeks ago, this actually already has, is it 1 or 2 episodes?
It's the first episode. It's kind of a long episode. It's almost 80 minutes long, and from what I've been looking at, some of the episodes are going to be 40 minutes, and some of them are going to be longer than an hour, and it sort of fluctuates, which is interesting way of telling a story, because it gives me the impression that each episode they're gonna give it its own like time to breathe and tell the story, so they're not gonna be so attached to rules and regulations of how to tell the story. They're just gonna let the story tell itself, which I'm pretty excited about. And I'm a big fan of the game. The game is one of the best games I've ever played. Originally made by this guy Neil Druckmann, and he is also attached to the TV show, which is a good thing. Also, the guy that is being produced by the guy that made Chernobyl, which was very well received, also on HBO. And the music, this guy Gustavo Santaolalla, who did the music for the game, is also coming back to do more of the score, which
Nice.
is perfect. It's perfect. People were complaining about the actors, Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, not looking anything like the characters in the game, but I think they embody those characters very well. Also, there was I don't know if you know this about the game, back when it was out. Formerly actor formerly known as Ellen Page was not suing but complaining that the game had made the protagonist look too much like her likeness, and so I'm pretty sure choosing an actor that is completely different from the way it looks. I mean, maybe it had something to do with it. I don't know, because that was kind of like one of the controversies back in the day. That the actor or the character looked too much like Ellen Page did way back when, 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the appeal on her personally. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so
Right.
so obviously the person who created it must have an affinity to her, and maybe just subconsciously, was doing it, but didn't realize that they were doing it.
Yeah.
When they had the game made, I'm sure afterwards, when it was probably pointed out to that person, and he was probably like, "Oh yeah, oh well."
Right.
So you're not going to go back and change all that, especially once it's all done. So, either it was pointed out to him beforehand or after, and obviously he was just like, whatever, we're moving forward with it. So,
Yeah. Also, I think at the time, Ellen Page was involved in another video game with her likeness. I think it's called Beyond or something. So there might have been some sort of issue with that as well.
so she was contracted to doing one, and then another one was coming out with her likeness, and she was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Exactly. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, makes sense.
But this girl, Bella Ramsey, is doing a really good job. She was Lyanna Mormont in the Game of Thrones, and she was like a standout character when it first came out. She was the one that would really we would make fun of her because she's the one that really emphasizes when she would say the North. She has like a really thick British accent. She would say like the North, and they would make her say the North a lot. So it was always like a pun. But
You could probably do like a game of like shots. Like every time she says no, do you take a shot?
Yeah, exactly. You'll be really drunk by the end of the the episode.
Yeah.
The Last of Us is one of those stories that is very emotionally charged. The game itself makes you very involved and makes you really care about these characters. And the TV show, at some points, even translates from the game perfectly. Playing the game, I remember thinking this would be a great movie or TV show. And finally, we got it. And I think I think it's poised to be one of the best series of the year, and we're only like 3 weeks into the year, and it's already one of the best things I've seen.
Yeah, I never played the game, or even knew anything about the game until like they announced this as a TV show. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Just seeing the trailer itself looked really good. Almost looked like what Walking Dead should have been.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, so I'm excited to actually try and watch the first episode this weekend. That way we can talk to you more about it.
Yeah, check it out. I'm curious to see what you think of it, especially because Pedro Pascal is such a good actor. He's really great in everything he does. Also from Game of Thrones, and obviously we know him as Mando, the Mandalorian, Jin Darren. But the episode is, in my opinion, very true to the video game, and very well paced, even though it's a little bit longer than a regular episode. And the premise is just really it's interesting, because you would think, especially with shows like The Walking Dead and just the zombie thing just being stretched, they just stretch the gum to impossible lengths. And how can you make that fresh? How can you make the zombie apocalypse interesting again? And I think The Last of Us did it.
Yeah, I mean, especially going into what they say post-pandemic America, I mean, it almost could be something that could have happened, especially if like COVID was something more than what they were saying it is, and it actually did a lot more damage to us, and dropped our numbers down and made it to where civilization was like less thriving. It's something that could be conceived as something real life, minus the zombies, because I don't know if we'll ever see zombies in our lifetime, or if that would even ever be a thing.
I'm prepared anyway.
Yeah, so am I.
But yeah, that's what makes The Last of Us relevant, right? Is the fact that we've actually, well, when the game came out 10 years ago, it wasn't that interesting. But now that we've actually gone through a pandemic in real life, makes it that much more relevant.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome. I can't wait to check it out. Number 7 on the list now is from Anne Rice. This one, I don't know if it's out yet or if it's still in post-production, but it's Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about this. This one's got Alexandria Daddario from the Percy Jackson and the True Detective. Everybody knows her from.
Right.
And a few other things, Baywatch, and what was that movie with The Rock? What was that earthquake movie or that natural disaster movie that she was in? Can't even think of what that title is now. But yeah, we all know who she is. Jack Hudson. I like butchering people's names. Tonge, Charissa, or Charissa.
I want to say Tongai Charissa. I don't know.
That sounded better than my pronunciation. So, and Harry Hamlin.
Harry Hamlin.
Yeah, everybody knows Harry Hamlin. Yeah, so looks like it's got a good cast. I've never read the books.
Me neither, but I in high school I had a girlfriend who was all into this. The only Anne Rice's thing that I ever read were her Vampire Chronicles. R.I.P. Anne Rice. Really good writer, and I think the vampire ones were the ones that I interviewed with vampires are the ones that also a TV show that's out right now.
Yeah.
That I haven't been able to check it out, but that's another one.
Yeah, I definitely want to take a gander at that to see like her versions, or not her versions, their versions of her characters in the TV show, how well they mash up to what the movie was. So definitely want to check that out. And I think we had this conversation before about me not knowing that she wrote other books other than the two vampire books, like The Queen of the Damned and Interview with the Vampire. She had like a whole series of like all these other like supernatural like titles and stuff.
Yeah, not only that, she had like other pen names as well, and she wrote like other things that had nothing to do with like fiction or anything. So she was a very prolific writer.
Damn, she was very creative and had a lot to say then.
Yep.
So yeah, that's number 7. Could be out now. Not sure. Definitely have to check it out to see if it is. Like I said, we'll do a follow-up and let you know what's out and what's not out. But moving on from that, the next one is called Welcome to Derry. This one is from the world of It. This one's only announced, so there's nothing really solid about this dates, but they do have one cast member attached to it, a person by the name of Rolando Davila Beltran.
Mm-hmm.
Unfamiliar to me.
Yeah,
maybe
no.
unless I saw his face. But he's the only person that's attached to the series. But yeah, right now it's only announced, so don't know what the premise about it is going to be. You know, is it when it was there from the beginning, or how the town was back in the day, or whatnot. So just have to check out to see what they're doing with that. Next on the list at number 9 is The Wicker Man. This one's also announced. I don't see any cast attached to it yet, but they do have a synopsis. It says Police Sergeant Neil Howell, who journeys by seaplane to the remote Hebridean Islands of Summer Isle. Man, I just butcher shit. I just can't fucking read. To investigate the disappearance of a young girl. The devout Christian is dismayed to find. And then that's all it has. Because I have to click on the paper that says "See full summary." I should have clicked on that when I printed it. So I'm not sure if this is following the same story as the movie The Wicker Man that had Nicolas Cage, and I think there was one from like the 70s, which I think was the same story that the Nicolas Cage one had.
Yeah, I've only seen the Nicolas Cage one.
So, but it just seems like a theme that they're going with. They're taking movies and then turning them into television shows. I'm guessing people want to have more expansion on these movies, get more background, more answered questions that were left unanswered, I'm guessing. So, and then last, number 10, is a show called Wolfpack. This one is drama, fantasy, and horror. It's also in post-production. Could also be out now, according to when I printed this paper. I think we also talked about this on my last episode, on our last episode, not my last episode, Jesus. Oh yeah, there's the date, December 14th. So that was definitely a month ago when I printed this. A teenage boy and a girl get their lives changed forever when a California wildfire awakens a terrifying supernatural creature. As the full moon rises, all teens come together to unravel the secret that connects them. This one has a cast of Amy Pietz, Stella Smith, James Martinez, and Rio Mangini. That's a cool name, Rio.
Yeah.
So, also, all these names are unfamiliar to me.
Yeah, same. But the premise sounds good.
Yeah, so it sounds like maybe there's something from at least the area that they're in. Maybe they all have something in them that lays dormant, and then the awakening of this supernatural creature also awakens something in them, depending on what it is. Obviously, with the show being called Wolfpack, I can only draw the conclusion that maybe they're all, some sort of werewolves.
Yeah, there's lycanthropy going on.
Yeah, something. It's crazy, but I'm really interested in it. It seems like a real interesting premise. So I'll definitely check it out when it comes out. If it's already out, then I'll have to make time to figure out when I need to sit down and watch it. So those are the top 10 horror series. Just to throw this also in there, season 2 of Chucky, I'm guessing is already said and done, but I haven't got the chance to see it, so I'm hoping to sit down in the next week or two and binge watch that, so that way we can talk about that as well. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that.
This one, we can also find it on, was it Peacock? No.
Wolfpack or?
No, Chucky.
Oh, Chucky, Sci-Fi and USA.
Okay. I'll try to. I'll figure something out. I'll definitely watch that one.
I mean, if not, then we can probably ask Kevin to see if he can find it, and he's the pirate.
Right.
All right, so yeah, those are our TV and movie top 10 lists for 2023. Up next now we have a comic by the name of Sergeant Rock versus the Army of Dead. So Ollin mentioned earlier about talking about Bruce Campbell for this. So DC Comics is putting out their own horror line, it looks like, and I'll let Ollin talk to you a little more about it.
Yeah, this one's one that I was really expecting, because you see some of these actors trying to become comic book writers. Sometimes it doesn't pan out very well, but Bruce Campbell is really good. You can tell he loves comic books, and he knows how to pace and write a comic book without being too verbose, without having you read like pages and pages of like just filler. He knows how to really pace a comic book, and he makes it interesting and funny, and it is like the epitome of like, this is truly a funny book, but with the horror element, and bringing back a character that is not very used very much, but it's really old, which is Sergeant Rock, and he's
our boss, because we work at the same company. Our boss was mentioning to me about how he used to read this comic when he was a little kid, about Sergeant Rock, and he was like amazed that they had brought him back, and he's like, oh wow, he's like, that's really cool. And I was trying to explain a little bit about it, like Bruce, because he knows who Bruce Campbell is, and I'm like, yeah, Bruce Campbell has attached himself to this and is writing for it, and he's like, oh, that's really cool. So he was really stoked about that they brought back one of his favorite comics from when he was a kid.
Right, yeah, a beloved character, and I think Bruce Campbell is doing a really, really good job. Basically, the premise is Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead, and it's exactly that. I love that this book delivers exactly what it's telling you. It doesn't pretend to be anything else. It is what it is, and it's great. Basically, it's Sergeant Rock. It's World War II. We're fighting Nazis, and we're fighting zombie Nazis, and that's it. You don't need to know anything more. It's just fun and action and horror, and there's like the weird cliffhanger at the end of chapter 1 involving the big baddie, obviously Hitler and his weird world domination plans, and well, you can pretty much figure out what that's gonna entail. But it's super fun, and Bruce Campbell, again, he can do no wrong. He got himself a really good artistic team. This man by the name Eduardo Rizzo doing the art, with coloring by Christian Rossi. Christian Rossi I'm not very familiar with, but Eduardo Rizzo does this really cool, really dark backdrops with like lots of shadows, but like even in the shadows you're able to see people's faces. Even in the shadows you can see like their expressions, and it's just like this really gritty but also at the same time sort of cartoony sort of style, but it really fits like the military look that the story requires, adding that horror element of just hordes of zombies, which is really what you want.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, I read some of the panels and stuff. I haven't read it thoroughly, but I went through and skipped some pages just to kind of see like how it was going to end. But yeah, it looks really good. Some of the writing that I've read seemed really good. I was really surprised. Bruce Campbell's a real smart guy. He's got really good writing, real smart writing in it.
Yeah, it's funny. Really good puns.
Definitely took his time on figuring out like how he wanted to make his deliveries on some of these things. And then, like you said, the artistic team on it, the people who pen and inked it, did a really good job. It's really well drawn. Every frame that I've seen is really good. It's something I can totally imagine it being a movie or TV show.
Yeah, and you can really tell it's Bruce Campbell's sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like I can actually, I don't know, like hear him say some of these jokes, because it's what you would expect. It's the type of stuff you hear him say, like in the Evil Dead movies, even like the sense of humor he had in like the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I mean that's when I first read a couple of the panels. Like I was just assuming that the Sergeant Rock character was he was modeling himself after the character. He was gonna try to incorporate his thoughts and his mentality like into that character. So it comes off a little bit like that, but Sergeant Rock is still Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, you can tell that it has his mentality attached to it.
Yeah, you can tell it was more of a work of love. He really had fun with it. Is what you can tell when you read it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be sort of a mini series. It says 1 of 6, so it's only six chapters. I think I'm gonna wait till it's all collected to read it all at once. But I'm pretty sure it's also good a good read month to month. It hasn't completed yet, I believe, but once it does, I'm just gonna read the whole thing together.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna give him his own series after that. Like they're probably just seeing how the waters are with this miniseries. Hopefully it takes off.
If it's a hit,
I think just off this first one, it's really good. So just depending on how the rest of them play out, which should be the same.
Hopefully it's well received and we get more than just 6 chapters. Maybe expands on it, or I just want to see Bruce Campbell write comic books.
Yeah, even if it's not Sergeant Rock, it's fill in the namesake versus the Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
So, or it could even just be or versus the Dead or versus the Evil Dead. It's whatever you want to call it, as long as he's behind it, and he has some kind of writing ability to it.
Yeah, totally. When I saw his name, I was like, what if they put Sergeant Rock together with Ash? And they do like sort of a team up that would have been, but that's not what this is, and that's perfectly fine. But that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
So yeah, Sergeant Rock, full recommend. So far, 5 stabs out of 5.
Nice. So with the DC horror line, what are some other? Do you know off the top of your head, like some other titles that they have going on, or what they're actually trying to do?
Yeah, there's this one called Basket Full of Heads, and it's written by his name is Joe Hill, who is actually the son of guy who wrote The Shining.
Oh, Stephen King?
Stephen King, yeah. So Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King, and he writes horror comics.
Is that his pen name?
I think so, yeah.
Or is that his actual name? Because I don't know if Stephen King is his actual name or if that's his pen name.
I think they're both pen names. I think both of them have pen names. But he's been writing a series. He's got more than one, but the one that comes to mind is Basket Full of Heads, and that one's all finished. And that one's pretty good too. There's another called The Dollhouse, which is I think also by Joe Hill. I think the DC horror line is being mostly helmed by Joe Hill, but there's other writers as well. There's other titles, and also they've been trying to do horror versions of their DC superheroes. Like they have this thing called DC versus Vampires, which is really cool.
Is that like the take on like how Marvel's doing the zombies?
The zombies one, yeah. But this one is vampires, and it's like all the superheroes, Superman, Wonder Woman, all them, either turning into vampires or fighting vampires.
Yeah, there was a comic a while ago that was Batman versus Dracula, and then also I think there was a Batman versus vampires. And like I'm not sure how long ago the vampires one was, but Batman versus Dracula. They even made like a little movie, I think, about it, like one of the cartoon movies.
Yeah, the animated ones. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So it's not a stretch. They've had that going for a while. Just looks like now they're incorporating more of the DC characters. But Batman just seems more of the guy who would be fighting those types of characters.
Right. Absolutely. They did a horror version of Swamp Thing, which Swamp Thing has always been pretty much horror based from its inception. But the DC horror line has been carrying those kind of stories.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I can't wait to see more from DC horror, and then definitely looking forward to reading the rest of the Sergeant Rock series.
Yeah, so far it is my favorite of the DC horror line.
Right on. Let's see. We're gonna talk. I think you did talk about the Last of Us.
Yeah, it was a little spoiler-free review. I can't wait for you to watch the episode. And actually, the second episode comes out tomorrow. And maybe you can watch them back to back. And I can't wait to talk spoilers with you on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Sweet. Knowing that, then I'm definitely going to wait. And then I'll watch them back to back. So that way both of them are fresh. So I don't want to watch one and then just watch the other one later. I'll check those out. I'll probably make it my mission to watch them tonight. So that way on the next podcast we can definitely talk about them.
Sounds good.
Cool. Let's see. We talk about these guys a lot too. The Slasher app. They're going to start doing their own, I guess like Facebook, like actual web page. It's still in the works, so I'm just touching on that, letting you guys know about them if you haven't joined the Slasher app, to move forward with that, show them some love. This is a horror community. They're trying to get something established for everybody and anybody who is in horror, whether you're just a fan of it or you're in the business of it. People from movie makers to TV to FX artists, any type of artist, people like us. We have our podcast because we're fans of horror. We're both on there. Slashers, definitely a little. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's better than Facebook. Facebook's got all the political bullshit, and Slasher has none of that. Slasher is just a horror community showing love to one another. Everybody's very nice and respectful. And everybody gives you props on the things that you post. So really cool. Definitely want to be part of that, and I can't wait to check out their actual webpage once it gets completed. So you can check them out. You can find them on the Play Store or on the App Store, whether you have Android or iPhone, and you can look them up at slasher.tv. Yeah, slasher.tv. It's evolving from their app to a global webpage, and then we'll have more to report about that as soon as it actually gets up and running. But they're slowly working on that, so give them a shout out. Go on the app, download it, be part of the community. Show your love. So check them out, Slasher. You can also find them on our webpage under the graveyard. That's where our links are at. All right, and then we want to give a shout out to our unofficial sponsor, Liquid Death. We want to thank you guys for making delicious water in an aluminum can, because recycling is the key for moving forward in the future. Plastic is definitely harder to recycle, and it's just polluting everything everywhere. So it's awesome that these guys came through and created something that we all can get behind. Definitely want to murder your thirst with a can of Liquid Death. They have several different flavors, and then they have standard waters. One is a sparkling water, which is in a black can. They have their mountain water, which is in a white can, and then they have their 3 different flavors. They have Mango Madness, Severed Lime, and Bury It Alive, which are super cool names. I
love those names.
Yeah, my favorite is the Severed Lime. My kid loves Bury It Alive. Which one did you like?
I like the Severed Lime. So
yeah, that one's really good. I wasn't too much of a fan on the mango, but I wouldn't turn it away if it was given to me.
Right.
But every podcast we try to give you guys a shout out. Thank you very much for supporting. Well, hopefully one day you'll start supporting us as we support you. So, but we would like to give you guys a little shout out, let you know what you mean to us, and then that it's awesome that you guys quench your thirst, or as you say, murder our thirst with these waters. So here's to you guys. Liquid Death. You can find it in any convenience store or grocery store, or at your box stores. You can get them separate by the cans, or you can buy them by the cases. Try them out, see what you like. If you just like water, definitely get the white can. If you like some flavors, try out some of the flavors. We told you what we like, so let us know what you like.
Yeah, the sparkling waters are great for cocktails as well.
Yeah, definitely good mix. Well, even this too, like using the regular water, cooking and stuff like that. That's even awesome too. Like you can add it in your ingredients, and just have a better tasting water. Makes your food all that much better. So thank you, Liquid Death. Also, if you guys liked the music in the beginning of and at the end of the podcast, that's by a band named Zao, Z-A-O. You can find their links also in the graveyard. The song is called Creator Destroyer, and this is off of their new album, The Crimson Corridor. This is their new album. Creator Destroyer is the name of the song that we have for the intro and outro for the podcast. And so check them out. And always, our social media. If you guys want to follow us, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. You can listen to the podcast also on the YouTube. You can find us on any of the podcast platforms. But if you go to anchor.fm, that has all of them linked together. Or you can go right to our website, which is www.thehorrorscene.com. And we also have just recently joined Rumble, which is like a new YouTube, but without all the bullshit. So they won't censor anything that you have to post, which is nice. So check them out if you have a chance. All right, so that concludes our podcast for today. I want to thank out all of our undead ghouls and monsters for listening. Like I said in the beginning, if you guys are new, we appreciate the listen. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications on any of these social platforms that offer those. And until next time, guys, I am one of your hosts, Brandon Brown, and as always with me is my co-host,
Ollin Hernandez.
You guys stay creepy and keep it spooky.
This is last.